Hello, friends. Hi, how are we today? I hope we're all doing well. I am fantastic, and I am here for the week of November 4th through 10th with this beautiful, beautiful kit from Let's Planet. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, and I certainly wanted to, I know it has more of like the autumn, fall, spooky vibes, and Halloween was the week before, but I thought it was really cute, and I really loved the ongoing like autumnal florals and particularly the box that I put down on Saturday was sun through trees. I don't know. I thought this kit was fantastic. I really like photo art in kits. I didn't used to, and it's sort of grown on me recently. But this is just stunning. Anyway, it's the week of my littlest's birthday. And oh goodness, did we ever hit the terrible twos hard. Actually, you'll see it in the week, not this week, but the week after this was really a challenge. Um, but this week and the next week after this are weeks that I am not as familiar with the kit layouts, especially because while I do use Let's Plan It fairly often, I certainly feel like um she changes up her kits enough that I just don't have, I don't know. I don't have an idea of what's going to be in them. Like I know the base kit, but I don't really know. So in this particular one, I only had one set of headers, and that's fine because what I ended up doing was bringing in this small header size strip in from the bottom and just laying it fully across. I don't remember the last time I've done that. I really like how it looks though. I like that solid like divide in the day. And then I don't know what it is about these particular, I think it's the font. I loved these headers. Like these headers, chef's kiss, fantastic. Out of this world, fantastic. I did do a straight across pattern because the week before I had done a scatter. Oh, the week before is so stinking cute as well. Again, I think I had mentioned this previously. I try not to do too many weeks, like in a straight across pattern. However, sometimes you just need to. Sometimes you just need to. So anyway, this one was a straight across pattern and I think it worked really, really nicely. There was not a this week. So I tried what I had done again in the previous week and just put down the script that said important. There was no this week. I like how it looks. I do wish that had said this week. Then I put down my two habit trackers as I typically do, and then I put down a little divider. I pulled in a half box from the side just to mark my currently reading, and then I used the little check mark just for my meals because there was not a box for that, which is fine with me. And then at the bottom, I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do. None of the kit like screamed deco, so I ended up just pulling in from my autumn page in my little leftover sticker book, and I pulled in just leaves and trees and made sort of a cute little scene at the bottom there. I need to apologize in so much advance for my nails. They are horrific. We won't even get into it. I watched the Leafs game. I was very anxious, and because they had already started to lift, like they are lifting. It's not like I just started randomly pulling them off my nails. One of them, my index finger on my left hand just completely lifted by itself. And that's what started this whole entire thing. So let's move on to Monday. So on Monday, I interesting. So anyway, sorry, I was just looking at the whole entire spread. On Monday, I pulled in a paint swatch and my little squish icon from Fox and Cactus. I worked from home on this day, and then I slept in until 5 this day. This was when we were at like the worst point of our sleeping. So he was starting to sleep longer stretches, but I hadn't figured out really going to bed early, and he was getting up between 3:45 and 5 a.m. And so when I say it was asleep until 5 a.m., that isn't even being sarcastic. It was a sleep in until 5 a.m. And then I pulled in a Coffee Monsters Co. emoji to note that I did a voiceover for my May 20th through 26th. And then I used a paper and milk in a pickle to note that my mom tore her hamstring right before she was supposed to go on a big trip. Very on brand for her. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Then I used a icon from a shop that is no longer open to note that I did an Amazon order for a humidifier, and then I went to bed early that night. On Tuesday, it was my baby's birthday. He was 2. So cute. So I was working from home on this day. My biggest tantrum all morning. In hindsight, he was jealous, but I couldn't put my finger on it because there was really nothing that was leading up to it. They really got a lot of the same attention. Then I used a Coffee Monsters Co. Emoji just to note that I had a lot of anxiety and stress, and this was because it was the US election. In the afternoon, I went for Happy Happy Joy Joy. So I filled my bird feeder. I called the maker of my bird feeder because my mom had just bought me another one, but it turns out that they offered a replacement. So I ended up getting 2 bird feeders, which is good because I'm a crazy bird lady. Okay, we don't need to talk about it. And then I pulled in from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. The script and the icon to note that I edited and scheduled on this day. On Wednesday, I worked in the office, a Maru to mark that, and then I think this is Millie Plans Co. Rachel gave it to me years ago, and I've been trying to use up all my extra icons. So just noting laundry, I didn't have a ton to mark for Wednesday, so I put her centered on the page you'll see in a moment. I used the laundry script from the kit because I thought that was fantastic. I love that laundry script. And then for the rest of Wednesday, again, I only had 3 things to mark. I used one of the quarter boxes vertically just to note like an extended period of time. And then I used a leftover icon from the Prairie Planner. This brown matched the kit perfectly to note that I started Thrall by K.A. Riley. If you have not read it, you have to. It is the best Cinderella dystopian retelling with like 3 spices. I'll say 3 spices. And just so well written, so well done. I could not guess the end. It was fantastic. And I needed to start the next one sooner rather than later. Then on Thursday, I worked in the office again. So again, with my paper and milk Maru. And then I decluttered with Fox and Cactus Squish. I decluttered the kids' flatware, and I also decluttered and donated so many toys. Instead of taking them to a donation center, we had so many that Walter, my littlest, was too big for at this point. So we ended up donating them to the baby room at his daycare, and they were very thankful for them, especially because there was so little use out of them. You know, little ones don't need that much. Then I just had this reminder label to note that it was a no spend day. Go me. And then I had a video go live, so I used a Sweet Tea icon for that. Squish again. It was a calm and quiet night, which was so needed. And then I booked my littlest's 2-year vaccinations, and I got some happy mail from Sweet Tea Sticker Co. That is a leftover icon from somewhere, but I'm not sure where. On Friday, I woke up sick, just like I am now because I have children in daycare. And then I worked from home on this day. I called Homeless Helpers Durham because we had some homeless people move into the green space behind our place. And well, I'm not disputing that people have a right to move into public spaces and we don't have many options for homeless people. I could visibly see that they were in distress and needed some help. So instead of calling the police, we have these people who come and help homeless people, and usually they're met up with a social worker, get them into a better scenario. I used a Fox and Cactus Booty Girl. She's my fave. To note that I did weights and squats, and I also went for a walk on my lunchtime. I was feeling very exercisey on this day. And then I started wrapping Christmas gifts, a little squish with the wrapping paper. Which feels at odd with the spread. I feel like we're moving into the Christmas stuff, but this spread is very much autumn. I filmed my base for May 27th through June 2nd, and then I had another no spend day, which I'm really happy about. On Saturday, I was up at 4 a.m. And so when my husband got up on this day, I went for a morning walk by myself because I needed it. Then I baked bread, just a regular loaf. And my blessedly wonderful husband took the kids to the soft play center that has since shut down for 2 hours so I could have a nap by myself, which was really, really needed. I also changed my big kid's sheets on this day. I don't know why, just his. Normally I change all 3 of ours, but all right. Then we went to the mall. I can't remember what I was doing here, but I think Christmas shopping. I'm pretty sure it was Christmas shopping. And then that evening, my husband and I were watching the Leafs game, and I built the Book Nook, my Lego Book Nook. And this was the start of my Lego building downfall because, oh boy, is Lego ever addicting once you started it. And now that they've got the Botanicals line, let me know in the comments if you are into Lego, or you didn't know that there was Lego for adults, or you think that this is a ridiculous other hobby that I really don't need to be getting myself into. But I'm into it. It's a problem. We won't discuss it, okay, guys? And then I filmed my base for June 3rd through 9th. And I used a Squish Cuddling its teddy bear to note that I went to bed early on this night. Then on Sunday, I had the blessed everything shower. I had a lot of time on Sunday. It was nice. I made deviled eggs before we went to visit my poor mom, who was feeling so upset on the Sunday morning. So we visited her from 10:30 until noon, and then we took lunch to my dad. So we visited him from 12:15 until 2, and then we wrapped presents that afternoon and evening for my sister-in-law in England. And me, myself, and I voice-overed and scheduled some videos, and it was another no spend day, and I did not realize how ahead of my plan with me I was. I think that getting that box down, the day extender for Saturday, really took a lot out of me. Took a lot of time out of my filming. But I should say the visits with my mom and with my dad, those stickers are Stick with the Plan Co. Squidge, and I am obsessed with them. Now, I understand she's getting rid of her Lottie, or is like significantly paring down her Lottie, but I'm not gonna lie, Squidge is kind of life, guys. I like my blobby little white icons, so there's a theme here that's happening. But I really like how this week turned out. I'm so happy to be back on my planning groove. I cannot wait to see you in the next video. I hope that you are all staying safe and well, and I will chat with you next time. Toodles, friends!